So welcome to day 4 of my golf fitness lockdown series. Okay, again we're going to be looking at exercises that you can do at home just with your golf club. Okay, so today's exercise is going to look at a lot of overhead mobility, which is really important for maintaining posture through the golf swing, allowing you to take the club away on a good path, and also to allow you to get a good amount of rotation in the backswing. Okay, so we're also going to be looking at hip mobility and really good all-round exercise that looks at the ability of the stability of the whole body. Okay, which is quite challenging but very beneficial. Okay, we're also going to be having another look at posture and the hips through the hinge position. Okay, which again is really important for posture and also lower back health. Okay, so check these exercises out, give them a go, and as always, let me know how you get on. So the overhead squat is a really good test of mobility, so it requires good ankle mobility, hip mobility, as well as shoulder and thoracic mobility. Okay, so it is quite challenging. If you can use a golf club, great. You may find if you're a little bit limited in your upper body, you may feel like you want to go wider with the arms, so a longer golf club will be better for this. If you find it's causing lower back problems or anything like that, or you're really struggling, you can replace the club with a band, which will allow you just to open up the shoulders a little bit, which will make it easy for you to keep it above your head. But give this a go. Okay, you're going to get into a nice squat position. Okay, so don't worry if your feet turn out too much. Okay, but try and keep them as straight as you can. Okay, so greater than hip width apart. You're just going to take the club above your head, and what we're doing is we're trying to keep this club above our head, like the centre of our head, as we just squat down. Okay, so you're just going to squat down into it as low as you can. Little pause and then back up. Okay, you can feel it's quite challenging on the body, especially the shoulders, and back up and the hips. Okay, but it's fantastic exercise, I say, to build mobility in all them areas. Okay, another thing that you may find is if you're going onto your toes a little bit, what you can do with that is just slightly elevate your heels. So if you are limited a little bit in ankle mobility, if you just pop your a little book or something under your heels, you'll find that that improves as well. And then just gradually reduce that height until you can do it on flat feet. But give them a go. Great exercise, like I say, to challenge mobility. A good 10 reps is pretty good. So half kneel and long turns are a really good way to build a little bit of separation, improve your thoracic rotation, as well as build a little bit of stability in the lower body. Okay, so it's really important to avoid any like lateral movement, and that we get good separation, especially for the load into the backswing. Okay, so we're going to get into a tall kneeling position. Also helps with hip strength as well, because we're having to pick up the leg. We're just going to take the club above the head. Okay, so again, middle centre of your head, push it up to the ceiling nice and tall. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to step one leg out. Okay, so step the leg out, so you've got a nice 90-degree angle, so the lower body should be now stable as we just rotate into that leg, rotate it as far as you can, and then bring it back, and then tuck the knee back in. Okay, so we're going to pick up the other leg, pick it up. Okay, and then keeping the lower body nice and stable as you exhale, you're just going to rotate as far as you can, so you're really improving that rotation of the upper body. Okay, and keep pushing the club up towards the ceiling. Okay, back up. Okay, I'll show you that again. Bring the foot down, pick the foot up, rotate, keep that leg stable, try and avoid any movement from the lower half. Okay, you should also feel a little bit of a load into the hip. Bring it back, step the foot out, and again just rotate. Okay, so again ticks a few boxes, good for thoracic rotation, allowing you to separate and create better sequencing and turn in your golf swing. So the next one's another hip hinge exercise, which I absolutely love hip hinge exercise. One, because they teach you how to use the hips properly, and the hip hinge is something that's obviously really important in setup and maintaining posture throughout the swing. Okay, also it allows you to kind of set your pelvis and engage the core. Okay, using the club, we're going to do a single leg deadlift. Okay, so we have done one where you pop the club onto your foot. Okay, again we're going to use the club just so it gives you a little bit of feedback. So we're just going to run the club across your back. Okay, and just try and get nice and neutral through your posture, so your abdominals are engaged, yet we don't have too much extension here which you can see through the gap there. Okay, so we're just going to tilt that on a little bit and just make sure that we are engaged here through the core. Okay, so we're also going to keep one end of the club towards the bottom of the spine. Okay, so down towards the tailbone, and then the top of the club kind of in line with the bottom of the head. Okay, and we want to keep these 2 points on the body throughout the hip hinge. Okay, and what that will do is it will give us the feedback that we are actually keeping the spine nice and neutral, and we're not rounding through the back. We are actually using the hips to hinge. Okay, so bear with it. You may feel a little bit unbalanced to begin with. You may find that you don't get as much movement, but as you practice it and you train the body to use the hip correctly and develop the balance and stability, it will get easy, and it's really going to be really helpful for your golf swing. Okay, so we're just going to hold on to the club nice and neutral for our posture. Okay, and then we're just going to hinge from the hip as far as you can and back down. Okay, and we need to make sure that the movement is coming from the hip and not from the upper body. So if you see him trying to get lower, just by using the upper body, straight away the back comes off the club. Okay, so you're using this club as feedback to make sure that you're using the hips, and you'll also feel a really good stretch down the back of the hamstrings as well. Okay, so give that a try. Kind of build up to 6 to 8 on each side, but I say everything at the moment is all about the balance and stability and controlling that movement. So this last exercise is fantastic for anybody who has what we call C posture, or kind of a rounded upper back. Okay, so what it allows us to do is extend at the thoracic spine, so just open it up a little bit, which then allows you to rotate better in your golf swing. We generally find if we're a little bit rounded here, we're a little bit limited. Okay, so it really opens up the chest. Okay, and it's really good for shoulder mobility and stability as well. Okay, so you're just going to grab a club. Okay, and you're going to hold it just in towards your fingers there. I'm just going to show you side on. So again, we're just going to hinge from the hip a little bit. Okay, so just feel like you're driving your hips backwards. Nice and neutral for your posture, and just let the club hang in the fingertips. Okay, I want you to also maintain a nice neutral posture through the head. Okay, so try not to look up, try not to dip the head forward, which is quite common if you're limited in movement up through the shoulders. Okay, so try and keep your head nice and neutral, and all you're going to do is you're just going to lift the club above the head. So I'm reaching as far as I can, and I'm just lifting that club as high as I can. Keep it in the fingertips, just give it a little grip so it doesn't fall, and then you're just going to bring it back down. Okay, and then again, make sure you breathe out as you bring the club up as high as you can, but without changing the position and the posture, and back down. Good. We just don't want to make any other compensations. We want to make sure the full movement is coming through the shoulders and not by driving the head forward. Show you that one more time from the front. Okay, so eyes down to the floor, lift the club above the head, keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Little pause at the top, and then slowly back down. Good. It looks quite simple, but it's quite a challenging exercise, and especially, like I say, if you demonstrate rounded shoulders and you sat at a desk all day. So give that one a go, and just work on getting as much height as you can, but keeping nice and neutral in that posture.